A funny thing about a chair, you hardly ever think it's there. Theodore Rothke. Think about how many chairs you sat on today. Did you sit on the couch to watch TV? What about sitting at the office? Did you sit at the dining room table to eat a meal? What about your car or on the bus? Did you get tired after standing for long periods of time and rest on a bench for a moment? We have a choice of over 24 seats in our daily routine, but rarely think about the concept of a chair and what it represents. Sitting is culturally determined and is regulated all around the world according to gender, age, and social status. American anthropologist Gordon Hughes says that sitting on the floor with both legs straight out in front is generally a woman's posture, and the cowboy squat is mostly a man's posture with one knee up. In my family, sitting is regulated by age at the dinner table during holidays. The elders sit at the end chairs with armrests, and children sit at a different table entirely. Since ancient times, chairs have been used for more than just sitting. They tell a story and reflect status of a person who owned the chair. When you go into an office with a large desk and a big leather chair, you instantly know who's in charge and who has authority. Think about the terms we use in our language today, like chairman, chairwoman, and chairpersons, to describe position, social role, and power. In an Australian study conducted by a Danish physician named Dr. Mendel, it was noted that children prefer the largest chair possible when given a choice, and children often visualize God in a throne or seat. But why do we use chairs to describe power? Where does it come from? Let's take a journey to 3 different time periods and 3 different locations. Our first stop is ancient Egypt. Chairs came about during the New Stone Age, or Neolithic Age, around 10,000 to 4000 BC, with images of a seated person on pottery and drawings. Actual evidence of furniture came about in 3100 BC in Egypt. During that time period, many Egyptians were accustomed to squatting, and chairs were only used by the elite. The chair was used for both practical purposes and ceremonial purposes in order to bring luxury items to the afterlife. High-back chairs appeared in the Second Dynasty and were at first only used by nobles and high officials. There were only a few chairs in the most elegant of houses, and were unlikely to be found in ordinary houses until the Middle Kingdom. The stool was popular for all classes. During the Middle Kingdom, the chair with a slanted back became popular with the upper class and nobles. The back supports of chairs were becoming more naturally designed to take the shape and the weight of the human body. The new design, compared to previous chairs and thrones in Egypt, eliminated the need to cushion the back to make it comfortable. Originally, such back supports would have been carved from solid blocks of timber, but during the Second or Third Dynasties, the curved qualities of such supports could be achieved through the open back. A fine animal-legged chair elevated on a platform indicated the chair's formal use. In Egypt, animals and birds had some sacred significance and were never shown in complete form in furniture. The lion was associated with the horizon where the sun god rose, and these features imbued the item of furniture with an air of strength and protection. This chair was a symbol of hierarchy in ancient Egypt. Let's skip ahead several thousand years to 18th century England. During this time period, chair-making became a distinct craft, combining the skills of a turner, carver, joiner, and upholsterer. 18th century furniture became more flexible and movable compared to years before, with heavy, bulky furniture pieces now being out of the picture. Upholstery and cushions were popular in wealthy homes, while ordinary homes were a century older in furniture design. People were starting to put more emphasis on comfort and practicality, which led to the invention of the easy chair. The conflict between dignity and comfort arose in the high-backed wing chair. It was also called an easy chair with its association to relaxation. The wings that flanked the back gave protection from drafts, and the arms were either open with padded elbows or continuous with the seat and scrolled outwards. John Glogg, author of A Social History of Furniture Design, states that the high-backed, winged easy chairs of the late 17th and 18th centuries that were made for people who sat upright to preserve their dignity and remain still to avoid disturbing the set of their wigs or the powder in their hair. Even in 18th century England, the high-backed chair still represents power. Our last stop is 20th century America. The Industrial Revolution had a huge impact on design due to new materials and innovative techniques. Materials such as iron and steel, aluminum, and plastics were commonly used in place of expensive woods. Modernism was more about the designer themselves and the simplicity of design. Many of the designs during this time were intended for the general public but never got that far. Modern furniture wasn't cheap to make nor suitable for mass production. The Eames lounge chair and ottoman is one of the most recognizable pieces of the 20th century. The chair was created by Ray and Charles Eames, a husband and wife team working for Herman Miller. In 1956, the Eames lounge chair and ottoman were introduced on national television on NBC's The Arlene Francis Home Show. The chair became a highly visible emblem of Herman Miller quality and innovation. The lounge and ottoman combine molding technology with hand craftsmanship and has become an icon of quality comfort and mid-century design. The Eames' initial approach was to create an inexpensive, mass-produced furniture, but the lounge chair used high-quality woods and hand-sewn leather cushions. The chair appeared in a Herman Miller advertisement as well with stockbroker John Mayer as a symbol of power. The Eames lounge chair is protected by a trade dress, which is a form of copyright, so no one can duplicate the chair. In the early 1990s, people started requesting classics like the lounge chair and ottoman for the offices and can still be found today. Although all three chairs coming from ancient Egypt, 18th century England, and 20th century America don't necessarily look alike other than the high back quality, they are all innovative for their time. They utilize the latest technologies and comfort, and most importantly, represent status and power. Only the wealthy would be able to afford these types of chairs, while the rest of the population would have to settle for a bench or uncomfortable, unstylish piece of furniture. While a chair is just an object, it tells a story about the person who once sat in them. Perhaps the chair is more than just an object, it's a way of life and a crucial piece to understanding culture.